up, Rituals? Welcome back to another video, and here today I'm very, very excited to be making this video. Finally, due to the fact that this has been a long-awaited announcement, we've seen, this team basically get dropped from a certain roster, and this roster say that we've traded them to another organization, and it was just, it just has been a very long-awaited announcement. And I actually recently had my Subway, so I'm feeling pretty good. So first things first, I'm gonna go and talk about the CLG roster. For those who don't know who they actually picked up, this was the old Denial team. Denial actually picked up all four of these guys who were kind of left, and Denial decided to go ahead and drop them, which I don't really blame them in a way. I was kind of surprised that CLG stepped in and was like, hey, we're here, but I'm going to kind of give a backstory on why that most likely happened. So first of all, Denial, coming into the Call of Duty World League qualifier, they're saying, you know what, in a way, this is their way of saying, we don't want to put all of our, our faith in this roster, because in previous titles, this team does not look good at all. I will be the first one to tell you that based on previous titles, this team does not look the best, granted, okay? But moving forward, see, this is, in a way, Denial's way of saying, you know what, we want to wait, we want to pick up a team that's guaranteed a spot in the Call of Duty World League qualifier. Basically, 8 teams out of the 16 that are qualifying, or that will be competing in the NA this weekend, only 8 will get out of there. So 50% of the teams will make it, the other 50% are going home without a guaranteed spot, and that'll be left to the online qualifier to decide the rest of those. And I don't think Denial really was, giving a whole lot of faith in their roster that they thought would probably make it. So they're most likely going to pick up one of the 2 teams who don't actually have a team as of yet. Most likely the one organization that has like Tipsy and Cold Chain on it is the one they might try to get into, but that's obviously for another video. But either way, CLG Gaming or Counterlogic Gaming is a very, very well-known esports organization. They have a League of Legends team, they have a CSGO team, a Halo team. I can't remember anything else, but I know they have some other teams as well. They're very, very well-established organization and are very, very well-known among the esports world. And that's when it kind of left up to CLG to pick up this new team. The reason why they probably picked up this new team is the fact that, there only is one technical team that doesn't have an organization. You can look at Mboz's team, and that's kind of rumored that Optic's going to be technically running that organization without it being under the Optic name. So that team's basically out of there. The only team that you have left is that roster that is consisting of like Burnsoff and Tipsy and Aticity. So those guys aren't really, they're kind of up for grabs in a way. So I think this was CLG's way of saying, you know what, we're not experienced in Call of Duty, we're just going to have a guaranteed team, pick these guys up, put them in a house, which no one really has known about this except for a couple of people, and you put them in a house and they started playing together, and we're going to want to pick up this roster. So that's exactly what they did. And CLG tweeted out on Twitter, I'll show you guys the tweet right now on screen. You guys can see that is Methods, Felony, BL Fire, and Complex. For those who may not know, a very talented roster, I must say. And the first reaction that you get, and I will always admit this team does not look like a good roster. I tweeted out on Twitter also, I said, do not count out CLG. That's all I'm going to say, because they are a very good team online so far. A lot of people do not know this either, is that CLG posted a video that is currently private, but they posted it in their article, which I'll post both. I'll post the article that CLG made along with their tweet, and I'll also post this video because it is currently private for me. It might not be private for much longer, but I want you guys to see this. But either way, CLG has been competing in this team house for about a week now. They've been playing together. They've been playing online, being in tournaments. I've casted over them, for a long time, whether it was under Denial or whether they were on a free agent list team. They've been playing and grinding out a lot, and they've looked very, very impressive. There was one time where I was watching them. As soon as they actually kind of been dropped from Denial in a way, they were scrimming against, I think it might have been LG or Luminosity, for those who don't know, and they played like 5 or 6 hardpoints. They were just scrimming hardpoint over and over and over again, and every time it was on, I want to say it was Spacely's host or some player from Luminosity, and they're playing hardpoint, and I don't know what happened, but CLG or the free agent team at the time were just absolutely killing them. They were absolutely destroying them. I was in BL Fire's stream, and he was just nonstop just dropping bombs, and I think they got like 250 to around like 75. I think they 100-point clubbed them every single game. If not one of those games, they got to like 110 or 120. It wasn't that much at all. So this team is very good, not even on host as well. And I totally understand online is definitely a thing. Online is a thing that you have to worry about, and sometimes teams are only known for being online squads. We'll definitely guarantee you that. But I want to say really quickly that this team has been scrimming. This team has been in a team house, and this team has been grinding out with each other only since the beginning of Black Ops 3. These guys were established. They said, you know what, we're going to have these guys, we're going to have this guy, and these guys are all so dedicated right now to this team. To lay out for you guys just a little bit, Complex is going to be the objective mastermind behind basically everything. I watched him play a match against, I want to say it was Apotheon, actually casted over that match, and they were playing on, I want to say it might have been Hunted Hardpoint or something like that, and the guy Complex had like 3 minutes in the hill. Like, he was just non-stop. He was picking up some really big kills. The main thing about an objective player is trying to just win crucial gunfights. You know, there's 1 or 2 gun engagements that can literally decide a game only on those, and he was winning a lot of them. Like, he was going, you know, almost like maybe positive 10, positive 11, and was still grabbing, you know, 2-3 minutes inside of the hill at times, which is fantastic. You know, BL Fire is going to be the main anchor for this team. He's going to be running the M8, the ICR, Man of War, whatever you want to say, or XR2, which I know it's previously been buffed, or not buffed, but taken down just a little bit. But either way, BL Fire is going to be the anchor for this team. Very solid, really good communicator as well. I can't express how good BL Fire really is at just calming people down. He's kind of a veteran, and he's very good at just saying, hey guys, you know, we're down, or we're leading right now, let's just hold this. You know, he's a very comforting guy to be playing around. I would say that for sure. Felony is more of a search and destroy player. He's very good at search. I casted over him on VVV, like UMG events and stuff, and he's very, very talented. You know, always is a lethal guy to be dropping numbers in search and destroy. He's also he just kind of runs around, does support. You know, he also is a very good slayer at times, can, you know, push out the lanes there as well. Methods kind of does the same thing, but he's also the captain of this roster. And watching, I think, one of the Methods videos coming into Black Ops 3, he was saying, you know, I'm looking for a team to run with, and I've never been more motivated in my life to want to compete and want to be good at this game. He took a little bit of a break, then he kind of came back in the end of Advanced Warfare trying to have a team for Worlds, and it just didn't really work out for them. And, you know, he's been kind of down on himself, and he just wanted to come back for Black Ops 3, and this team is looking really, really good so far. Granted, they're not winning every single team scrim, but they're team scrimming, unlike a lot of the other rosters. There are some teams, I'm not going to list any of them out right now, but there are some rosters who are not prepared at all for this event, and there are some teams who are overly prepared. This is one of the teams that I'm looking at and saying, this is a dark horse. Teams coming into Black Ops 3, this event this weekend, are going to say, oh, that's just CLG. That's, you know, that's just BL Fire. That's just Felony. That's just Methods and Complex. Who really cares about them? We're just gonna wipe the floor with them. That's not the case. This team is pretty good in just about every single game type that I've watched them in. Hardpoint, I wouldn't say is their specialty, but they're very, very solid at it. They're very good at rotating. They're very good at communicating. They're not gonna get jarred easily. They're gonna keep you know, their focus up and stuff. They can be a little bit streaky, granted, I totally understand that, but for the most part, they can be a very solid team. I say if they're on a run, if they're doing pretty well in the first hard point, you give them a couple rounds in search, they're most likely going to take it from you. So that has basically been this video, the announcement. CLG has entered into the Call of Duty scene, and they picked up what seems to be a bad roster, but in my eyes is actually a pretty decent roster that definitely has the capability to qualify for this weekend. They're actually going to be in Pool C, for those who don't know. I'm not going to go in super depth with it, but this is actually a pretty difficult pool, to say the least. You have Envy in there, you have DT, and you also have TK. TK looking very good, DT looking very solid in online play, and Envy, who's had a little bit of struggles, but they have a lot of veterans on that team as well, so that's not going to be any easy task to beat those teams as well. Obviously, the top 2 from each pool automatically qualify, and you're obviously going to have your spot in the Call of Duty World League. You have your guaranteed spot there as well. So, guys, that has been it for this video. Let me know in the comments your guys' thoughts on the new CLG roster. They have a lot to prove this weekend, and you know, maybe if they don't, we'll see what happens with them. I really think that they're going to surprise a lot of people, and we'll see how that works out. So, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, and like I said, let me know down in the comments your guys' thoughts on this new roster and the fact that CLG has now entered into the Call of Duty scene. Really excited to see bigger organizations take an interest into Black Ops 3 and into Call of Duty in general, and I feel like this is only going to go up from here. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Have a fantastic day, and until next time, peace out.